Welcome back, guys. We're going to talk about set items in the game. You can start farming those at level 60 once you go into Hell Stage 1, and you're going to want to do this. The item sets are very strong. You can only do a 2-piece set at level 60. Once we get to Paragon level 30, then we can go into Hell 2 and start farming the neck and the gloves. But unfortunately, we can't get the 6-piece set until we're 150 Paragon. That's Hell 4. Then we'll be able to go into dungeons to get both of these rings. Now, these sets are very strong. Instead of these legendaries dropping in dungeons, once you go to Hell 1, the only thing that will drop from dungeons are these set pieces. Now, when you look at the set piece of this right here, you will never get the same 2 set pieces aren't from the same dungeon. So I can't run the same dungeon over and over and expect to get the waist and the boots. You're going to have to know where to go, and we're going to look at a website that tells us all that, and we're going to look at what advantages we get from having these set pieces and where to go after, right? Which dungeon do you need to be farming so you're not running around aimlessly? We'll start from the top. Festering Baron's Pack. This is all about loss of control. If you stun someone, fear them, knock them up in the air, whatever your abilities are that cause loss of control, this will affect it. Now, I'm not really big on this set because I feel like there are much better sets to use down below. Of course, you could use this in PvP, but loss of control is even shorter duration in PvP. The 2-piece set will increase the duration of your loss of control abilities by 30%. The 4-piece set will increase damage done to them by 15% if they're under loss of control while you're damaging them. And then the 4-piece set here, you have to actually defeat them while they're under loss of control, and then it will only occur once every 40 seconds. So to me, I am really not big on this 6-piece set, and I'm definitely not really interested in this set in general. But as always, let me know your thoughts down below. I do think there are much better sets. This is the first one we're reading over here, but if we are heavy, super heavy into loss of control, then it could be okay. And then maybe I would just go for the 2-piece set and not worry about the 4 or the 6-piece set and pick up some additional sets from some of these down below. Grace of the Flagellan, all continual damage, channel damage, and persistent ground damage is increased by 15%. Now, as my barbarian runs around in PvE, I do have a lot of these abilities. I've got whirlwind, I have this ground earthquake that does damage, I have continual fire damage that goes when I do my sprint. So there are a lot of abilities that I'm running right now that I could take advantage of this 2-piece set for PvE grinding, and of course for PvP, right? It would increase my damage in PvP as well. The 4-piece set here, if I hit somebody 5 times, I'll do additional damage. This could be good for my barbarian as well as far as single target damage goes, because I don't have a lot of single target damage abilities. So I'm using my basic quite often. The frenzy one where the attack speed gets faster and faster, it's good, and to get this additional damage, that could really help out. And I don't know if this damage scales. If it's a flat 287, that's no bueno. We need it to scale, right? You always have everything in the game scale, so I'm sure that would scale up. Each time you deal damage, you have a 4% chance to unleash a lightning strike, dealing a buku amount of damage and then stunning people nearby. But again, these can only occur every 40 seconds. I'm okay with this set. I don't think it's the best set out there because I like something that gives me protection as well as does damage. But this is a pretty good set for me right now. Very good for the abilities I have with my whirlwind, with my earthquake, with my fire behind me. At least 3 out of my 4 will be affected by that 15%. I'll get additional damage here every time I hit them, and my whirlwind hits them a lot. And then here, having this strike go off with this much damage and stunning people, it would be a lot of fun. So eventually I will go for this set. This set is definitely a good set to have. The Imbued. Each time you defeat an enemy, you gain 30% increased movement speed for 2 seconds. That could be good in PvE and PvP. Damage dealt increases by 2.5% for every 5% increased movement speed up to a maximum of 25%. This is pretty cool for the barbarian as well because I do have a way to increase my movement speed. And if that would affect this, I could be up to 25% additional damage very easily every time I do sprint. And I could also augment that to make sure everybody else gets that sprint as well. So if they had this and it does affect it, then maybe we could jump up to this 25% damage pretty often. And I can do ways to extend my sprint as well. I'll have to test it out to see if it'll work with what I do. Each time you do defeat an enemy, you have a 10% chance to gain this orb, which deals damage when it passes through an enemy. Cannot gain a soul orb more often than every 40 seconds. I don't even understand how that's going to work. I'd have to actually do, play it, practical application to see how well that is. But don't forget, you can have multiple 2-piece sets. You could have a 2-piece set and a 4-piece set. You don't always have to go for this 6-piece set. Down here, it's Shepherd's Call to Wolves. Your summons deal 15% additional damage. Right away, I'm just thinking Pet Necro, right? All of this just screams Pet Necromancer. Crit hit chance increases by 3% for each summon you have, up to a maximum of 18%. That's really, really crazy because it's hard to get crit hit chance in this game. Seems like it's very difficult to get, and if you can get an additional 18% just by having summons out, and then your summons do 15% additional damage, definitely Necro with pets, right? Your summons enter a frenzy state for 10 seconds each time one of them crit hits. Wow. The attack speed goes up and damage goes up by 100%. Cannot occur more than 40. Okay, yeah. This obviously looks like a Necromancer build. And Necromancer pet builds are amazing. They're doing the most damage right now in the Shadow Wars. They, from what I hear from all the pet Necromancers, it's a really fun way to play, and you do a crazy amount of damage, and you have wonderful survivability because you're not up in the fray. You can stay away from it while all your pets actually do really good damage, and they survive as well. We've got the Untouchable. This is the one that I'm running around with right now. Each time I take damage, I have a 20% chance to get 13% of my max HP as a shield. It can't occur more than every 9 seconds. 9 seconds is pretty short. I'm getting this in PvP and I'm getting this in PvE. In PvP, it does save a lot of damage. Again, it's every 9 seconds. In PvE, when I'm going out there in open world grinding or going through dungeons, I see this all the time. Now, the 4-piece set of this is going to increase that shield to 33% of my max HP. As a barbarian, I've got pretty good HP. And if I have a 4-piece set that's going to give me this huge shield every 9 seconds, 20% chance when I'm hit to get this every 9 seconds, that's going to be a really big shield. Because right now, it still looks pretty good on my barbarian. And then here, at a 6-piece set, your shield has a 25% chance when it expires to explode and do 40% of your max life and damage to all nearby enemies. Again, that sounds, I don't know. For me, this sounds amazing for PvP and PvE. 33% of my max HP. Now, if you don't have a lot of HP, then I can understand you wouldn't want this set. Vidthus Urges. The 2-piece set will increase the duration of all beneficial effects on you or your party members by 30%. I already like this because even party members get an increase of 30%, so you're helping everybody out. Increase the attack speed by 30% for 3 seconds each time you use a skill that grants a beneficial effect to yourself or a party member. That's the 4-piece set, and there's no cooldown on that. So if you do, I don't know if there's items out there that can give beneficial things to other party members or not, but if there is, then this could pop off pretty often without a cooldown. Of course, we're going to play this on our classes that give beneficial effects to everyone. I can even augment 2 of my skills to give increased damage or increased speed to other party members. So then I would pop this 30% increased attack for 3 seconds. 30% increased attack it's fast. It's really fast. And if we could find a way to make sure that we're giving beneficial effects to party members all the time, this would be a really sweet set. Each time you use a skill to buff yourself or a party member, create an aura for 10 seconds that grants 15% life drain to yourself and party members within that aura area. Cannot occur more than 40 seconds. That's pretty interesting. A 15% life drain to yourself and party members who are in that area. I like that. I don't know what class I would use this on. I don't know what class gives everybody the most buffs out there. If there is, and then we get this area here, the 6-piece, where we have this life drain for damage done, that could be pretty fun. War Rags, primary attack damage increased by 15%. I already like this as a barbarian because when I switch over to single target damage, when I'm fighting LaSalle or any kind of boss where there's no adds that I need to worry about, I need additional damage on my primary attack. That's where I'm getting all my damage from because the barbarian doesn't have a lot of things to add to single target damage. And with my frenzy attack going so fast, this will up my damage, single target damage by quite a lot. Your primary attack gradually increases your attack speed up to a maximum of 25%. Now, if that stacks with my frenzy, this is the set I am absolutely going to use for single target damage whenever I need to fight those bosses. Every single time. Your primary attack has a chance to increase your attack speed for 10 seconds, cannot occur more than every 30 seconds. So more attack speed. I'm really going to have to test this out because my primary attack is where I get all my damage from on those single target. Well, the majority of it. So that one sounds pretty cool. Over here we have Windloft. The 2-piece set gains 1,000 winds, increasing your movement speed by 15%. The 1,000 winds deactivates for 3 seconds if you take damage. This is pretty cool for open world farming or even in just PvP when we're running back into the fray or we're out of combat. Because this is an out of combat movement increase speed of 15% all the time, and then it will deactivate for 3 seconds if you take damage. Increase your damage done by 20% while 1,000 winds is active. So I guess as long as you've got that movement speed and then right before you get attacked, 3 seconds if you take damage. So as long as you don't take damage, you're going to increase your damage by 20%. That's pretty cool. There's a lot of times that 20% would be in effect without you taking damage in PvE or PvP, as long as it's not a big boss battle where there's crazy stuff going on all the time. And even if there was, you would be out of damage most of that time. You wouldn't be taking any damage. So this could be a really good 20% additional damage and then good movement speed to get out of those area of effects. I'm thinking of LaSalle. I'm thinking any kind of boss like that to where you're not taking damage all the time. And this movement speed would be nice. And then the additional 20% damage would be insane. Gain a shield that makes you immune to damage 5 times while 1,000 winds is active. Cannot gain this shield more often than 40 seconds. Wow. Gain a shield that makes you immune to damage 5 times. So 5 different hits, you will be immune to that damage while this is active. And to have this active, you just haven't had to take damage in what, 3 seconds? That's pretty crazy. Is an in-game focus set that makes your character both fast and powerful. High gear requirement needing multiple items with movement speed, magic modifiers, and extreme rare legendaries. Likely the best set for the entire game. Particularly may be difficult to collect or use as many players. I don't think we need all that. I feel like this set is pretty insane overall. Movement speed while out of combat. Movement speed while not taking damage, not out of combat. Movement speed while not taking any damage, which is great. 20% additional damage when it's up. And then we get this shield where we don't take damage. So as long as it's shield up, we're actually not taking any damage. So 1,000 winds won't deactivate the second you take damage. So for 5 hits, we're not even taking damage. So this could be this could be crazy. I like this one quite a bit. You guys let me know your thoughts about all these sets below. Let me know what you think the best sets are for a 2-piece set once you hit level 60. What do you think is best for a 4-piece set once we hit Paragon 30? And then what you think is the best set overall for different classes. Let us know down below. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you all in a video soon.